what Zaka is and why you decided to join.
Okay, Zaka is founded 31 years ago when it was the first attack, terrorist attack, when a terrorist threw down a bus on the way to Jerusalem, and 16 people were killed, and there was no knowledge in Israel how to handle this terror cases, because there are certain, in the Jewish law, there are certain, there's a lot of obligations, there are a lot of laws that has to be, we have to clean out the blood and everything that the body has to get to burial, and there was no knowledge. And what happened then, people came to help, and they wanted to help, but they were in the middle of work, all kind of people, and someone found a body part, a foot, he put it into the trunk, and what happened, a day later, he came, all of a sudden, he reminded himself that he has a body part in his car. So Zaka was founded then. So people came up. We have to make an organization that people volunteers, and it started in Israel. In Israel, we have about 1,800 volunteers all over Israel, and then it started to go all over the world. Okay, and we have it. It's the international, and now in Zaka there's a couple of teams. There's search, there is search, there is the scoop divers, there is the K9 unit, that's the dogs for searching, and we are trained by the army for. There's groups also in Zaka that's trained by the army. Also with the United States Army, we have training. We had training in Israel a lot with the Israeli army about when a building falls or something, if an earthquake happens. And as we know, the missiles that's being launched on Israel every other day, and it catches buildings and people get trapped. So you need a special unit for that. I am one of the special unit that I joined Zaka from the beginning 31 years ago. And I was, me and my team, we went to a lot of places. We were in Mexico too. We were in Haiti, we're in the Philippines, we're in Turkey. We were all over the world with all kind of tragedies. If it was a bombing, if it was a plane in Africa, there was a plane that fell into a building with 5 Israelis and that got killed. We were there on the scene. We came right afterwards to find the parts, because our motto is to respect, to save lives and respect the remainders. Okay, now we know in every family, every tragedy, there's also families in behind. Like now, we can talk in Miami. In Miami is we were together with the families. The families came every day over there, and we were talking to them, and they begged us, at least when they knew already that there's no chance for saving them, saving the father, the mother, or something, at least let's get them to be buried on the holy way, on the right way. And that's what we did. So I joined with my team, and we worked together with the Mexican team. It was a tremendous team. We were working together with the Israeli army, and we know what we did over there. That it's some things that it's coming out right now when the Americans claimed all the time for 160 victims. The Israelis knew already that's only 92. And now we know that. Now they're getting to us that 32 was found. Now there's 64, only 64. It's a lot, but 64 is still missing. And we were there and explaining to the Americans also the Jewish law, and that we came not only for the Jewish people, we came for everybody. We respect no matter of Jewish, non-Jewish, Hispanic, Black, whatever it is. We are we respect them, and we do the same things that we do by Jewish people. And it was very, they listened to us, and it was very helpful, because when one of the days when we took out some bodies and was missing body piece, they called us in and come show us exactly how we can find it, and how we can identify it, and how we could connect it to it should be buried the same together with the body. So it was a big success. Unfortunately, in this circumstances, it was a big success, and hopefully we will not have to deal with this in the future. But we know that we have to be ready for every minute all over, and we have our team sitting and ready, and in an hour notice they can be in a plane and get all over the world. And that's because in order to respect whoever has to be respect.
What do you do after finding the body parts?
Okay, it depends where. Over there in Miami, basically we did not deal with the bodies. It's the locals, homicide, and the medical exam team. They handle the bodies. We were just watching. We were there for them and helping them, and they made, because some of the bodies were could only be identified through DNA, and they did everything, and they notified the families, and they gave it over to the families. So we did not do physical anything with the bodies. In Israel or other places, when other countries we were, yes. If it was in India, we took care of the bodies. We packed them. We made sure to identify them with the families, and we were with the bodies till it came to the rest, to peace, to be buried. That's our job.
Now, what was special about this Miami disaster scene?
Okay, the way the building fell, okay, we never saw that in the past. It went like a domino, like a 7-layer, whatever you call it. And when one on top, usually when we went to see, let's say in Haiti, we were in Haiti. In Haiti, we found bodies after 27 days, because they were like in an air pack, something, and they could live. But over here, it was difficult, very difficult. There was no air pack, and also there was fires going on and off, and whoever didn't die from the falling, died from the smoke or fire. That was very unique for this place. It was very unique for this place, that we didn't see that in the past.
Now, why did Zaka decide to go to Surfside? Were you sent by the government?
We joined together with the Israeli army, because we are a team. In Israel, we work together, we were trained together with the Israeli army. It's called in Israel Yachza. פיקוד העורף, יחצה, יחידת צבאית אזרחית, it's called, it's basic, they deal all with the civilian, whenever there is a tragedy with the civilian, but they're very well trained, and we train together with them all around the year. We have all the time trainings, and we know each other, and so therefore we're and they're not dealing with the bodies, they're dealing only with the search or rescue or recovery, and we come to the different part when we do the recovery and identifying. So it was very helpful. We worked together like one team, and I can say it was a big success.
And is there a moment or a person that caused an impact on you in these last days?
Yes, after working 10 hours and some a day, and some days we had a success. Basically, we didn't have success because we were looking to save lives, and unfortunately we couldn't save lives. And some days we did not even take out a body because the fact that with the bodies were and the hard work over there and the bad weather and everything that adds up, when you come home after a 10-hour shift, a 12-hour shift, you come home, it's very frustrating and it's very hard, especially when you go out and you meet one of the family members and they rely on you and they come to you and they say, and there's some families that you got friends already with the families that usually we try not to do that, not to become close, because we have to separate our work, our job that we're doing with our heart. It shouldn't get connected because then it's even harder to work. But there is tragedies I know that I dealt only 2 months ago in Israel when it was in Iran. 45 people died. I knew a lot of people. I was there. I was dealing with the families from the beginning till the end. And yes, it came that I collapsed, also mentally and also physically. So sure, Zaka has their mentally. They have doctors that we meet and we talk to them. They give us the support. They don't leave us alone, and everybody has his commander. Every volunteer and the commander, he's in charge to look over the volunteer to see if the volunteer is okay, and if he's not okay, we talk to the wife, to the children, and we bring him to some classes that together with other people, and till he gets out from his from where he is. And then if we see that he cannot go on because it hurt him, we had that a lot, we will not send him out from Zaka. We'll just switch his job. He's not going to be on the field. He's going to be more office work or something like that. We'll make sure that we keep him in the system, in the organization, and will not lose anybody unless the volunteer comes by himself and he says, listen, okay, I'm finished, I'm done, I can't do it anymore. We'll try to convince him, but if it doesn't work, we don't hold anybody on tight, so he's gonna go. But our volunteers are ready for everything and anytime and everything. 7 days a week, 24 hours.
It is a terrible job. You have to deal with body parts, with arms, with legs, with...
Yes, you have to deal with a lot of things. And the main thing that when you come home, you cannot speak about it. You cannot tell for your children. You cannot tell for your wife. I myself was in the past once a photographer took some pictures of me in Jerusalem, um, going on a ladder and taking off body parts after a suicide bombing. And he wanted to do me a favor. He sent home the pictures. I wasn't home, and my children, they opened up the envelope and they saw, and for sure when I came home, they didn't want to talk to me because they were small children. Now they're big. Now they understand. I have my own children that they're doing the same thing like what I'm doing now. But in the past, they didn't want to talk to me. All of a sudden, I come home, they don't want to talk to me until I understood what happened. And then I explained them that this is, you have to do it right. Not everybody can do it. I had to explain them, but for sure, we're not talking about anything in the house because we want to keep our children normal. And also, sometimes when you get to some cases and with children involved, and you have children by yourself the same age, and the only thing when you come home, you check your children if they're okay because it goes into your head. And we had it a couple of times. So yes, it's a hard job. It's not a lot of people they cannot do it. But like they say, it has to be some crazy people to do it, and we are the crazy people.
How do you cope with that?
As I tell, we have help each other. We're helping each other. We're a big family. We're a family. If somebody has a problem, we know to talk, and we recognize we recognize the problem, and we talk. We bring in professionals, and we know in the end of the day, you know that you do some good deeds, you do some good things, and you help the family, you help someone. That alone gives you the support.
And have you been active in searching for survivors?
Sure, I was.
Because
Yes.
I saw you on the rubble over there
Yes.
and digging, no?
Yes, I was there in the rubbles every day. For 8 days, I was there every day, and we were digging, and we were trying. But unfortunately, we knew already there's no survivors. But as I said before, there is survivors behind the non-survivors, and we have to help them too.
Of course. Tell us a little bit about your collaboration with Cadena, the Jewish Mexican team, and the other Mexicans, the Topos, no?
Okay, we worked only with Cadena because the other Mexican team, I don't think they came into the pile.
I
We
think
didn't
they
see
didn't
them.
allow them. They didn't.
Yeah, they didn't allow them. I don't know why. I don't
You
know
were
why.
allowed, right? You were allowed.
Yes, they didn't. Yeah, they did. Wasn't allowed. I saw them outside, and they spoke to me, but I couldn't help them. But Cadena, they were the most. I can say their team, full of power, full of help. They were the most. The Israeli team, the Pikuda Orv, and them together. I think they made the best job over there, and the whatever was missing, they had everything. They were equipped with everything, and I think it's a big Kiddush Hashem what happened over there.
And what will you do now that you get home?
To what?
When you get home, what do you do? When you get
Oh, I just arrived to Israel, and I'm on my way home right now. First of all, I go to meet my wife and children, and that everybody's waiting, and I need some rest.
you look exhausted. Well, it is normal. And the team that stayed there, what are they going to?
The team of Pikuda or of the state over there, that's only professionals, not searching. They're more professionals. They're giving some notes, and they're trying to help out exactly for the locals, because we know that more teams came in the weekend, and it's easier because the demolition of the buildings, that it's much easier to search right now, because there's no fear or bother that it's going to fall down on you, so it's more safe. And as we see in the last 24 hours, there was like 7 bodies that was already that found. That it didn't happen in the first 10 days.
So is the protocol any different when there are Jewish and non-Jewish victims?
No protocol, no difference whatsoever. It's all the same. Human being is created by God, the same thing. Everybody has a family, and we respect. And unfortunately, in Israel, we know we handle a terrorist that blew himself up. We handle him the same thing like the victims. Sometimes it hurts you, but it's like a doctor, protocol of a doctor. He cannot separate. He cannot. Everybody's the same. The same thing is by us. We're a medical team. We're a search team. We're a emergency team, and we went all over. Not only for Jews, we went all over, even though we knew that there's no Jews involved.
So now the Zaka, your work and Zaka's work is over in Miami?
No, we have our team over there. We have our team. It's our team is it's a local team, Chesed Shalemes, it's called, and we work together all over the year. But they don't have the practice that we have, so we taught them. We gave them in the practice exactly what they have, and they are over there, and they're local. And by the end, our people, everybody has a family, everybody has a job, and you have to get home. It's you're there for a week, and you have to leave it for the locals. You have to change shifts, and that's what we did. And they're there. I just received a phone call before from them about asking some questions, and I gave them the advice what they had to get, and it helped. And so we connected 24 hours a day.
When do you decide it's over?
We don't decide it's over. What? The Miami disaster?
Yes. When do you
We don't decide. We don't decide. It's not our decision. It's when they say that everybody was accounted for, that we have everybody, and even though I'll say it's gonna take a lot of time, because there's still, I don't want to tell it exactly, it's not good to tell, but there's still missing stuff, and we have to get on top of it. And it's gonna take, as we know, it took 9/11 attack in New York. It took them for 20 years to get to the end of it, with all the DNA, with everything to set up everybody what was missing. So I don't think it's going to take over 20 years, but it could take another 2 months for sure.
So there are only 64 missing now?
Yes. As the Israeli army, they did it in the beginning. We know that, and I knew it last week, but we didn't want to talk about it because I don't know why, but they came up to a conclusion that there's only 92 bodies. And when the American officials said all the time 159, but by questioning the families and everything that we got over there, that was not me, was Pikuda Oref, and they came to conclusion 92. So now we found the 32. So whatever is I think 64 is missing.
Well,
Maybe while we're talking, they found more.
Yes. Thank you so
Hope
much
so.
for this interview, Yossi. Thank you really for your time, for your patience, and for answering all my questions.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Later.
Thank you.